Hey everybody, welcome to the Simhanger. My name's Mark. Thank you very much for joining me today. As you can see, I'm in the Pimax Crystal Light VR headset, and in my opinion, one of the most immersive experiences you can get in something like flight simulation is being in virtual reality. And the last thing you want is something breaking that immersion. Now, comfort is a subject that I've touched on many times, that for me, comfort in VR is as important as any other aspect. Now, there's a company in New Zealand, Studioform, which I've featured on the channel before, that produces comfort options for a wide variety of different VR headsets, including the Pimax Crystal and Pimax Crystal Light. Now, in an earlier video, and I'll put a link somewhere up here on the screen, I had a look at the Pimax Crystal and Pimax Crystal Light options that were available, many of which I liked, some of which I weren't that keen on. Well, they've subsequently got hold of me and said they've updated version 2, if you like, of some of the comfort options. And I said, yes, I'd certainly be willing to take a look. So that's really the subject of this video, is for the Pimax Crystal and Pimax Crystal Light. What are the latest comfort options that are available? We'll run through all those details. And then at the end of the video, I'll give you my personal opinions on what they offer.
I'm going to start where I left off with the previous video. I was using the Apache head strap and also the Studioform face gasket. So let's remove these. The Apache head strap's been around for quite a while, and I used it initially on the Reverb G2. The face gasket was one of the early versions, in fact probably a prototype of their version 2, which was substantially larger and offering more support than they initially offered into the market. What we're looking at today is a complete kit from Studioform, although many items can be purchased individually, featuring a face gasket, backhead support pad, upgraded Apache head strap, and the face foam spacer kit. And let's start with that. These pre-shaped spacer strips, about 2 mm in overall thickness, and you get 3 or 4 in each kit. Velcro both sides, and you get a combination of full face strips and additional corner strips. And these are certainly more useful than you may first expect, as they allow you to mold the shape of the face housing to perfectly fit the shape of your face. Perfect if you've got some light leakage or you want a little bit more space if wearing glasses. The new upgraded face gasket is very similar to the prototype that I had initially, and like the one I had on earlier, this completely transforms the comfort. In the Pimax Crystal or Pimax Crystal Light, available in 2 different versions, a soft grey cloth or PU leather. I prefer the PU leather, I find it grips better. Memory foam type padding in the internals, plus I feel you stay a little cooler with this face pad than the default one, due to the aeration holes, etc. The updated Apache top head strap is principally the same from a design point of view, made out of a PU leather, which is essentially plastic. Comfort this time is via foam as opposed to fiber in the previous one. I prefer this new version, easy to wipe down from a hygienic point of view, fully adjustable via the Velcro strips. In my opinion, a head strap is essential for any front-heavy VR headset. Pimax Crystal Light is no exception. When combined with their face gasket, you've got the perfect comfort option. These are staying on my headset. The top strap comes with a Velcro patch, which will allow you to fasten it to the vertical head strap on the Pimax, if that would be your preference. From a personal point of view, the item I'm most interested in is the new rear pad. In my previous video, I preferred the Pimax default rear pad to the one offered by Studioform, but this pad is completely different both in size and shape. Once again, comes in grey cloth, ideal for comfort, and the PU leather, which is ideal for grip. And once again, I'm going to plumb for the PU leather. And I like the look of this. It's substantially larger. Once again, a memory type foam inside, and although I comment on it later, I have to say that I'm very impressed with it. It's an absolute winner in my book, improves both grip and comfort. And that basically covers everything that you get in the kit. But before concluding, I do want to mention one additional product from Studioform, which is their Pimax Crystal or Crystal Light counterbalancers, available in both 5 and 7 ounce options. Counterbalancers are exactly what they say on the tin. They are 2 small weights. For the 7 ounce option, for example, which is what I've got here, It's two 3.5-ounce weights, which are fastened to the back of the headset strap to improve the balance of the headset, to take some of the weight away from the front of your face. To be fair to Studioform, they do say they're for the Pimax crystal and not necessarily the Pimax crystal light. Attaching them to the Pimax crystal light is a little bit awkward due to the size of the back face foam. In my opinion, they'll be a very welcome addition for the Pimax crystal, but after some 2 hours worth of use with the Pimax crystal light, I opted to take them off.
Well, I've now spent a fair amount of time, I'm not sure, probably about an hour, 40 minutes or so, flying around with all the various options available that we've covered today for the Pimax crystal light. Face gasket, I've already covered in my previous video. I really like it. I also like it because if you wear prescriptive glasses and what have you, it's got the room to accommodate for that. And the top strap, well, I think it's pretty universal that most people would recommend a top strap. And I do prefer this PU leather top strap. Mainly the comfort is much of a muchness to the previous one, but from a hygienic point of view, it's certainly my preference. But what's really impressed me is this back pad here. That is far more grippy, if that's the right word. It holds the VR headset much more firmly on your head and is a big improvement over the default, and certainly a massive improvement over what Studioform originally had on offer, something that I wasn't particularly keen on. The other advantage, of course, is you can buy most of it as a complete kit, or alternatively, you can buy most of this individually. Is it for you? Well, that's for you to decide. I've shown you what the options are. So until next time, thank you very much for watching. Stay well, look after yourselves. I'll see you all again very soon. And ciao for now.